Все настроила. Сейчас не так сделаем. Так. 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 Ну, как минимум 3 часа нужно сегодня посидеть здесь. Откроем Кеншин. Хотя я пошла на Women's Sky, но... 300 хочется тоже получить. Так, что у нас тут вообще нужно пойти по главному этому? А, тут еще есть временный. Вот это надо. Так, ты...
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food—
Oh, don't worry. We—
in that case—
Ooh, everything looks so good. People in Fontaine should—
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food—
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll
Yeah. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast.
Oh, true.
Paimon didn't...
Блин,
Speaking of cases, do you think that the mask...
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward,
If it hadn't happened right in front of...
right? Yet it was because this was—
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking!
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem— To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities— It's not that I don't have faith in their ability. It's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against, which is exactly why the Spina di— Those highfalutin—
Seems...
It's all right. Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after...
I see. So, your primary— I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways?
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss.
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the end.
Could you...
All right, I can personally testify that this one works. Valid point. All right, you did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false ac—
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Huh? Paimon?
Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really a bit...
No, it's fine.
Alright. Honest...
Is that so? If we're all finished eating—
Yeah, we're stuffed. so full. Paimon can barely float anymore. Nah, that would be so...
Okay. As for expenses this month...
Hey, Navia! What are you doing?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal.
Let's get ready to...
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine... in any case...
See ya!
О, а нет, ну, я надеялась, я закончила. Я надеялась закончить. Где? А, вот вижу. Что, Лен?
There aren't many people
Sure.
around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Araneas might have been the last one.
Vache,
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? That's...
Vache, Vache.
Shit.
Hey! Why are you still walking towards it? There might be something... Huh? Hang on. Paimon can kinda hear a voice. It's... Hey! Traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Что-то интересное сейчас будет. А,
Vache, are you my dear Vache? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? I'm... Wait,
а,
who am I? I'm very sorry. I fear I do not know. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten? Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light. I also remember going to many places. I loved
ну, она стала
adventure, loved exploring
океанидом.
places of peril. No matter where I went, Vache would go with me. But now, we can no longer go back. The pain of such... No! Our reunion no longer has any meaning. The thought of me gives him no succor. If you meet Vache, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the... If only I could have comforted him. Told him that I did not suffer. Is that what you call it? Dissolving?
Подожди.
If anything, I consider it a form of... It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy. With only... I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long, and I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think. Farewell, then. I am glad...
Wake up! Come on, hurry!
О боже.
Navia's outnumbered!
Неожиданно. Армия целая.
Demoiselle, look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex.
Что, ну ладно. С ними.
Quick, now's our chance!
Ого. Огнестрел. Но у нас уже есть арбалетчик. Вот ее я хочу. Она будет 4 звездочная, я так понимаю. Было бы идеально, если бы она
I
была
should
вместе
thank
с
you for
Архонтом.
lending us your sword there, Clorand. But before I do so, could you explain how you
Что-то
managed
с ней
to show up
расмотать.
here?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust.
Хочется что-то
He would do the
сделать.
same, were he alive today.
Do not speak of my father.
Sorry, demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with the Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law. I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a private force of sorts.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clorand. But if you get any ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you. Good day, all.
Right. I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Clorand was being sincere with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, she's...
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us! Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorand who came out to save us too! We got lucky there. Paimon...
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. In truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast. As
Victory
such,
feast.
we're still partners. There's no need to thank me.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really?
Что?
Paimon contributed somehow? Ooh, Paimon's even more amazing than she thought!
Родился.
All thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
How did that help?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to
Что
one
там
of our
творишь?
bases
Ага,
when I
у
suddenly
нас
thought of
всё
what you
самое.
said.
Ну
That the
пускай
Fanta
бегают.
tasted kind of salty and icky.
Я знаю, что нужно. Ну, по очереди же можно их пусть побегать.
Fanta only comes in sweet
И
flavors.
пошла.
So how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off.
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
А,
So if you hadn't drunk that cup for me,
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
Huh. Really?
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate. But whoever did this left no trace at all. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger and hurried here as quickly as I could.
But why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Linny in court and help clear his name. Ugh, now we're caught up in this mess too, aren't we?
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably
ну
pretty
что
proud
тебе
of,
объяснять, почему
and almost
Паймон не
got their
слушает?
name in the process. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
Well, it can't be coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. She said that she heard that voice calling for Vache again. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too, but it was real faint. Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing to be.
New intel? While you were out cold?
Well, let's hear it, shall we? Oh, that is important. Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the prime. Yes, thank you. This is very important
Возможно,
information
он
indeed. We
виноват.
will continue to investigate. Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
Well, you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right? And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not.
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you. We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But we'll take that one step at a time, I guess.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
О. Куда? М. О. Куда-то все
It's
ниже
right
и
up
ниже.
ahead, but let's make sure we weren't followed first.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious thus far.
Very good. But let's not let our guard down for now.
I shall find rooms for our respected guests.
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue, traveler.
Так, и... Просто вперед. Угу. Ты следи за ними, хорошо, Лен? Кто там, Дуся? Рыжа? Рыжа! Рыженька! Запутаешь. Ну. Что у нее там? Здрасте. Вы кто? И кто это? Нормально. О, тут еще люди. Серьезно? Они тут живут? Ну,
Тебе почти 50.
ой, тебе, господи, привет. Рыжий, привет. Ой, ты, господи, Рыжий. Привет. О. Привет, котик. Все, убралась. А пока-пока, Рыжий. Да, так на полу грязно. Нужно было подмести сначала. Как мы оказались в воде. Я пропустил. Вот сюда. Вот сюда. Сейчас поняла, что у меня одна компашка.
I've been waiting for you for ages.
О, боже. Ждала она меня года. Так. Мне бы какой прокачать. Пускай это будет. Ай.
Hurry up. Mora waits for no one. It is as the stars foretold. Scry the sky. So, this is your base? It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can...
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately.
Ну, если...
After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
Your father... He was the previous boss of Spina di Rosula, right? How did he...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain.
No. I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And as partners, this is something I hope they can understand. My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
Oh no.
I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up. At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that. How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up the closest piece of info I have, is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Ah, so that's why you're so determined to get to the bottom of that case.
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in, but I haven't found a single new clue in my countless reviews of the investigation records. However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something. I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must get to the truth. If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me. And now,
Ой ты, господи, ой
here
ты,
I
господи,
am
ой ты,
investigating
господи.
his death.
Дусенька.
You really are a handful,
Ой, ой,
aren't you,
чё, чё,
Papa?
чё, 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 чё. Привет, Дусенька. Привет, моя маленькая. Привет. Опа. Вот. Сбежала. Нет, она хочет со мной побыть. Видишь?
Он тебя любит.
Несмотря на вчерашнее. Да, Дусенька. Дусенька. Нет, а мы рыжута особо и не мучили вчера. Да, Дусенька. Чего заставляли одежду мерить? Ой, ты куда? Люсенька. Люся. 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 Люсенька.
Mademoiselle, please, if there is anything I can do, anything at all,
Люсенька.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone.
Кстати, у меня на столе сейчас нету
None
места
whom
для
I
крыс.
respect more than the two of you, demoiselle. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet
Люсь, ты
all
куда?
it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed
Goodness.
Callus the Unfaithful.
Вот
Even our
так, вот так.
supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances at present.
Wait,
Ты посиди со мной,
Callus
Дуся.
was such a good man. Wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. It's not something exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that. People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
But how could... never mind. If Callus was really falsely accused,
Ты куда?
we have
А
to
то еще
find the
грохнешь.
truth. He didn't deserve to have that happen to him.
There is one other thing.
Ну, вылезай.
Master Callus's opponent in the duel was Miss Clorand.
Oh,
Вот так.
well then, isn't that as good as saying that she was the one who killed him?
Привет, ку-ку.
Yeah, that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
Miss Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him,
Потом.
but
Вот.
seeing how he was resolute
Ну,
in the
куда ты? Вот.
arena, there was only ever one choice she could have made.
Он пытается на стол
It's
попасть.
not that I don't understand her at all.
Чеканенько.
I just can't deal with this yet.
Don't worry,
Man.
Navia. God knows how you feel.
Лена,
You don't have to force yourself to do
доченьку-то
that.
забери. Я сейчас
Afterward, Miss
как-то
Cloran told us
не до
that at the
крысы.
start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure Demoiselle Navia's safety.
Тоже. Угу. Но мне сейчас как-то не очень удобно в тут сидеть. Если бы она спокойная была, я посидела бы, конечно.
Yes, that is our understanding.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right. Anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just complaining towards the end. Thanks. You two should go and rest. This was quite a day after all.
Yeah. Paimon's feet.
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will
В
ensure
таком
your best
месте.
outcome.
Сейчас. Я зацеплю. Сейчас. Чё?
Whether it be responsibility for this won't do.
Да ёшкина Паша.
Paimon slept so well. This place feels almost too safe.
Too safe.
Navia? Where did the other two go?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back.
Mm.
But never mind that. When did you get back? Were you waiting here the whole time?
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some investigating yesterday regarding the name Vache.
Wait, so you didn't sleep at all?
Чаще не спала.
How could I after having such critical new evidence appear?
Guess Paimon wasn't speaking for everyone just now, huh?
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence. It doesn't seem to have a match anywhere. I suspect that those behind this have already taken steps to hinder an investigation from this angle. But that does prove that this Vache person is a key witness in the incident.
Does that mean we're too late, though?
No.
Спросить, как девушку звали до...
One place in Fontaine that they would find almost impossible to threaten, no matter how much they wanted to. And that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette, a place where detailed files on all the cases in recent years are kept. If the Oceanette you met is one of the young women who went missing recently, we should be able to find some related information there.
So Neuvillette maintains an archive of case files? Whew. Guess that's the hard-working Chief Justice for you. In that case, let's go talk to him, shall we? Aren't you coming along, Navia? Did you get tired?
No, it's nothing. Let's go see the Honorable Chief Justice.
Насколько высоко? Угу.
The palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Да блин, слишком быстрая загрузка.
state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters. Huh. This place does look pretty heavily guarded. Guess that proves that Nervalet's files are really secure.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Mhm.
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who you might be related to. Our rules make no exceptions.
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep. Paimon can tell. If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy, so please leave if you don't have a reason to be here.
No. What I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the trial of the great magician Linny.
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's attorneys. It's all coming back to me now.
We're here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Huh. Is that even a thing?
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business. You can trust us.
All right then, I'll let you through.
Подозрительное
The
слово.
Chief Justice is just inside.
Thanks so much.
Сейчас. Эть.
Please come in.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur Nervalet. We only lied to get in because we didn't know any other way.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
So
Такой
you're not
добренький.
mad at us?
We're looking for a man called Vache. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
Who knew that Nervalet would be so easy to talk to?
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vache has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past several years. There are no records of him either
Да,
in
она
the
хочет всё
files
исследовать.
or in my memory.
Это на улице ей страшно, она сидит. Она хочет все
What if it was
исследовать.
really just a dream?
Is that so?
Только не на кровать.
Thank you so much,
Мы
Monsieur
еще не
Nervalet.
купили эту
We'll
на
take our leave
кровать
now.
постилать.
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Nervalet? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. You only said those things because you felt like you should. It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear. If you truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the duel? Why didn't you
Просто
give me the
конкрет.
power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die, despised and hated by all? Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions he still owes me answers to. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone. It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Navia, are you okay?
I'm fine. Rain. It's raining.
Again.
Right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building? And there shouldn't be any active trials today. How strange.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also...
What is it? Did you think of something?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene? That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value. Oh? Wait.
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water? And then got washed away with the rain?
Чё?
Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. You're completely right. How did I not connect the dots earlier? All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll get to the bottom of my father's case for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna make progress for sure this time.
Do you want to go with me now? Or
Так
do you
это
want
ж
to head over by
необратимо.
yourself later?
То есть убийца сам умер?
Great. Let's go then.
Что, кто-то сбежал? Сбежал? Ой. Сейчас вернусь. А, я в порядке.
Astrologers must rid themselves of material
Так, здесь
desire.
есть.
Only by
Здесь
ridding
есть.
oneself of clutter can one
Здесь
see the
есть.
true
А
world
где?
around them.
А, нашла. Да, А, нет, поймала? Серьезно? Ой. Чуть. 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 М. Два. Им просто интересно. Ага. Ага. А куда мне нужно отправиться? А, нет, все в порядке. В деревне Посём.
Whoa! What a huge ship!
Да ладно, не так уж большой.
Like this.
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula's headquarters.
Еще одна.
My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps a gigantic and glamorous
Ну,
ship
как у вас дела?
embodies discovery, opportunity,
Дусенька.
ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past. Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the soup. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself?
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all. It's our main base.
О, еще один. Как? Ой, привет. 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 Кто это к маме пришел? А, кто это к маме пришел? Все. Ну и пришла меня затушить, да? Ну, кто это к мамочке пришел? Что ты задушить?
Сейчас она
Всё. Прогулялась такая.
на
Мгм. Да блин. Вижу. Хотя... А, я забыла отметить. Вот так. А, нет, 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 стой, 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 можно выйти. Нет. Нет, нет. Ай. А чё это она орёт так? Ну, я слышу ее. Ну, и что ты там делаешь с ней? Ей это не очень понравилось несколько раз.
Чем там платила?
Привет. Мама, спасибо. Опять. Ой, у меня запутается. То есть, надо же. Ну, куда-то туда убежал. А, блин, я забыла про разморозку. Лен, можешь из морозилки достать мясо и положить в холодильник? Пусть всё у меня. Мясо из морозилки в холодильник. О, я вернулась. Где, кстати?
Another test subject. That angle?
Плюс тебе. Ну все. Где душа?
Внизу?
А, вот ты тут. В окошке там сидит и моется. Да.
Тут там.
Это что-то как-то спокойно. Ну, а? Дуся мылась, господи, Лен, ты что, не слышишь, что ли? Ну, я говорю, она спокойно так сидела и мылась.
А, тогда я правильно слышала.
Тогда почему-то удивилась, если ты правильно услышала.
Ну, ты сказала, в смысле, она моется, а не спокойно.
Я и то сказала, наверное. И чё? Так это, блин, одно и то же почти. Когда она спокойна, она моется, значит, если она моется, значит, спокойно.
Picked the wrong test subject.
На ручку пошла, она меня мой.
Мама, Анна Мылалкина.
Такие сутки. Прям. И укусит.
Нет, конечно. Она что-то не кусается у нас.
Если вроде.
Да-да, что ты спрашиваешь, не укусит ли она?
Я говорила, не укусит. В смысле, я не спрашивала. Господи, Анки. Опа. Пойдешь?
Ай,
Идешь на ручки? На ручки пошел.
что?
Пытаюсь, чтобы она на ручки пошла. Она моется и
Ну,
моет.
ну, пускай сидит и моется, просто подожди.
Что если вот так вот буду держать руку, она... А, нет, пошла сюда.
Ой. Она ругается.
Громко.
Да, громко.
Ну, сказал.
Ну, если, блин, я слышу в наушниках, значит, это громко достаточно. Они вообще не должны звука произносить. Да.
Я слышу, там они зубами что-то иногда.
Но зубами это не голос. Просто постучать зубами это тебе не, блин, ну,
Еще немного там.
ну это они дышат. Это все еще не голос.
А мне тоже слушать пытаются.
Ну, тусенько.
Вот змеи могут задушить специально.
Да.
А крысы могут своим хвостом задушить?
Нет, конечно. Сил не хватит. Ай, следи за ней. Ну иди, отпусти, пускай еще погуляет на полу.
Сейчас я бегу.
Так, мы что-то не там, где должны быть. Нет, дедуся. Сяда ко мне. Мама. Ой, господи. А, стол. Кто-то хочет на стол. Нет, не надо. Нет, не надо, Дуся. На,
Писала?
нет, убери ее. Ну?
Черный. Прямо такие.
Шип-шип. Так смотри, чтоб под кровать не залезла. Да.
Холодильник.
They might have it good for a while.
Я думаю, что потянуть.
Ой. Ед опять. Каждый раз все больше и больше. Убери меня. Больше и больше. Стой. Ой. Так, мне выше. У меня свои дела. Так. Вижу. Ждем. Котик. Понял кота.
Maloose, we're back.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners. You said before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
Пошел. Пошел.
About that, It's
Курасён.
because my partner here
Petition.
reminded me of something really important.
Курасён.
You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea? You still remember, right, Malus? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Lin.
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began to gain popularity in Poisson. At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood and produce many pleasant hallucinations.
Иэн, я слышу аж отсюда, что они орут.
Also mentioned that the primordial water could be used to produce some kind of potion?
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, it's almost certain that synth is created using water from the primordial sea. If you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions. And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything. It's an extremely
мясо
dangerous
переложила?
substance. As he oversaw Poisson, my father was
Она-
compelled to put a stop
Она
to synth
против.
abuse
Не бери.
and called for a complete ban of it.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath. But no matter how
Лен,
much
ты
they
мясо
threatened
переложила?
or bribed him, he
Отлично.
refused to yield. Not only that, Boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation and put an end to the problem once and for all.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers, all of whom only sold the stuff and weren't privy to the rest of the operation. Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. Finally, he was able to convince someone to become his informant. The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some food. But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun, and Jacques, who was already dead on the ground.
How did that happen? Aren't they on the same side?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any motive at all. Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet. But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. You're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring it all out. I'm finally headed towards the truth.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned on Boss with zero warning. I think this third person is probably the key to the full truth. On that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as you're and your father's butler, I must still offer a word of warning. Our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes to step back and give up on the case.
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have told me that himself. Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the end? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaninglessly? I've never accepted that. Ever. Not since that day, and certainly not now. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself.
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and more importantly, Demoiselle, I think you're also ready to take this on.
So you do know something else, Malus.
Yes, I do.
Что он знает?
In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between Synth and the serial disappearances case. But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, Demoiselle, had been selected as the next target to disappear.
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left to live. And the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. But once he passed away, all the danger would pass on to you. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina di Rosula about the details. But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Right, so nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful was still far preferable than losing face in front of his daughter.
So he chose to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, Demoiselle. What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol, but a sword. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
That fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight? No. He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought I'd be able to understand him. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now? Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a care in the world. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
It's the location where Synth is produced. Essentially, it's the enemy's headquarters. When he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found. But if you want to use it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several things into consideration.
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization that's been in operation for decades. There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to find inside, nor what people we may be able to capture. But a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal declaration of war. The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Then, in that case, Why not work with the Fontaine authorities?
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
Huh. That's true. Seems my father really had no choice. But things are different now. It should be a lot easier to prove the other side's guilt, now that we've connected Synth with the disappearances case.
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into this, Maloose.
I am the butler, after all. I live but to serve the boss and Demoiselle's will. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping secrets, performing basic investigations, and waiting for the right time to come.
Thank you for all of that, Maloose. Have you discovered anything new in the past few years?
Let me think. One conclusion I came to was that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula, or at least have an informant planted here. When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark and observe the reactions of the synth vendors. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news. After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to 3 people. The first is Florent, Spina di Rosula's senior advisor.
Huh? Florent?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who understood Boss really well. Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plans and could thus avoid capture this whole time. There's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in Poisson.
Boss.
Boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence. In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds around, with a lot of business connections in the city.
So, they're like a sister organization of Spina di Rosula?
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers, they provided us with plenty of support. It's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down themselves.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the guards. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local authorities. Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
I see. These are all people who I communicate with quite regularly. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most. It's almost too hard to believe.
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry. Judging from our experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
Of course. And thank you, Maloose. You've provided us with a lot of great information.
You're too kind, my lady. I'm just doing my duty. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. They still live in Poisson today. If it might help, you could also pay them a visit. I can make the necessary arrangements.
Aw, thank you so much, Maloose. You really are the best.
A new case awaits, my dear partner.
Так.
I hope we can work together to uncover the truth and
Ты
end
в
this
библиотеку
case
собираешься?
once and for all.
Почти 11. возьмешь телефон? Так. Прински. Нет. Все. Нитка застряла. Неудачно. Ну все, дальше уже только машинка, если. Чешется. Справишься? Сейчас. Держи. Да. Да, я тебя положила. Даже каждые 15 минут автобус ходит. Можешь сейчас пойти.
It is settled then. Please
Единицы и
excuse me and
двойка.
enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
Да.
Thank you for
Они
arranging
оба к тебе
everything for us,
подходят.
Malus.
И чтобы туда добраться, чтобы обратно добраться. Сейчас посмотрю.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
Сейчас.
Hey, Navia's all quiet.
Ну вот, на двойку ты уже не успеваешь. Ну, через 10 минут единица. Чуть больше, через 10.
Обратно, если я приеду на какую?
Когда приедешь, туда едешь на той остановке, где мы вчера вышли. Если проедешь чуть дальше, ничего страшного, у отеля выйдешь. Вот уж, ну. Дальше идешь в эту... Да, а потом возвращаешься там, где мы вчера сели, когда обратно ехали. И также садишься или на единицу, или на двойку. Они обе там проходят. Просто приходишь, садишься и ждешь. Да? Ты можешь мне потом написать, когда сядешь, и я тебе напишу, во сколько следующий автобус будет. Потому что прямо сейчас я тебе сказать не смогу. Слишком много вариантов. Я ж не знаю, ко скольки туда приедешь, а ко скольки освободишься. Так, чё?
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula...
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques?
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you. I know. Only...
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment. But on the matter regarding my husband, my daughter...
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe...
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could, he had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora would... So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even...
They found out about...
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us. I don't know that for sure, but you could... Which is
Я
why
живот
I'm the one who
разболелся.
should feel guilty. Callus had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband.
But Mama, why is Papa still the Papa always wanted to be a good man? So why did he have to do a bad thing?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel...
Yeah,
Такое классное
Papa was
сочетание
a
цветов.
really good man. The best.
Then you should hold on to that. Regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword.
Oh,
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
Ага. А, мы опять показания собираем. Ай. Ну ладно, потыкаем. Как прошло.
something on your mind again? Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Florence should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city.
Ой.
I'll get myself together on the way.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House? Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside, and we found some clothes left at the scene. After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callus was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after? My first reaction was that Mr. Callus's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene. But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callus was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But I've never really bought that explanation. Reason being, Mr. Callus had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned, do you think there was a 3rd person there who was turned into water?
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a 3rd person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callus ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys?
Чувствую мама.
But hold on.
Найти увидеть.
That's what had happened. Then why didn't he share the truth with any of us? He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
About that, Malus told me a thing or 2. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then I'll leave Mr. Callus's honor in your hands, boss. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callus the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callus, even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callus's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today. No matter what others might say, he'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always be my boss.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
Mhm.
Hey, Thierry, it's me.
Oh, now, what brings you here?
Oh, so you've got news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances.
I mean, where I work is really... Callus did a fantastic job running the town. Building Spina di Rosula from the ground up, and it would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly... Anyway, enough.
Ah, yes. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that...
Ah, I get it. You think that if you want to go through the original files for...
That'd be much appreciated.
Of course. Why do you ask?
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of... So, if you, hypothetically, wanted to do something...
Then you think too highly of my abilities. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders. Or if you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to, so I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private. They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, jokes aside, I'll be staying in the city for...
Где еще? Фух, давай отсюда.
Hello. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please...
Sure. I will let him know right away.
Спешно.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly
Может,
about
там
what
самим
happened
нужно
at the
было к нему
Opera House.
зайти.
I'm sure you saw
Он не
everything
ходил.
too, right?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Помощь.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea.
If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
Oh, it's okay.
Sounds good. All my wealth comes from...
Ну, 1,5 часа мы уже сидим тут. Еще столько же можно пойти на Манскай. Если будет сила. Так. Где систематизировать наверху, наверное?
We've talked to all 3 suspects.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
I suppose. Anyway.
Where should we start? Ah, you're right. Flora mentioned that, Cal.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered. If I had to guess...
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as...
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn... Makes sense. But besides Jacques, the attack from the guard... It's obvious that our enemy...
Do you think he knew, even then?
Given everything that's happened since... But who among the 3 suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex?
Нет, я не знаю.
Uncle Marcel? And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also have... Still really hard for me to imagine that. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole... Florent? But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals...
So you're saying he's too broke to afford a...
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able...
Тоже не подходит.
But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the Mecca.
Yeah. Had he actually tampered with the Mecca? If the Mecca were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy...
Who could it be?
Я подозреваю.
You know, if you think everything through...
Could we be missing other suspects?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trust. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs. Even if I don't want to believe it,
I'm starting to see how
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes. Malus did say that charging straight in, we need far more solid proof before we can hope.
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for...
Huh?
Ты наш второй подозреваемый.
News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called
Child.
Yeah, we know him.
Well,
Насколько.
he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
Wait, how? None of our
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any...
Right, because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Yeah, and it'll be a lot harder than...
I understand. Well, Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Just as expected of my partner. Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, the culprit's attention, you're right. This is our best opportunity. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up.
We'll help you, just like...
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver. When did you two get here?
Я бы им не доверяла,
We
честно.
heard that you'll be leaving Poisson. It's our hope that...
Thank you so...
See you then! Now that Navia has set out for Irenaeus, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over. Huh. According to Malus's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance.
Не хотел появляться. Да, я так понимаю.
Finally found it! Huh. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. You're right. Navia's probably...
Но мы будем с девчонкой играть.
It would appear that I must repeat my... Do you accept the charge?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate, in which case, as long as I accept the charge, I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've... When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back.
Hey! Don't you understand? You're...
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to... Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning.
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong Huh? What's...
Why is she interjecting?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbinger.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only talk, but
Ну,
that was an
прошлый раз не
exception
зря же
rather than
она
standard
встряла.
court protocol. I can...
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's point? We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to... And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by
Oh. A young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience. But that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person you would like to charge instead?
Нет, я не знаю.
That person is...
Нет. Сейчас. Галочек. Неприятно. Так, наказание семьи. Нет, он вряд ли. Ему было бы только на руку. Так, вот или...
Marcel, the head of confrérie of cabaret, huh?
Ну, конечно.
I've heard of them, but...
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navi, and if the charge fails to...
Yes.
In that case, I declare the charge. Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away. Mr. Marcel, you will not require
Тыкнуть, я не знаю, просто единственное, у кого нет подходящей защиты.
Very well. In that case, since both
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect...
Navia, do you really think that I was the one? Come on, why would I do that? If that's enough to make me a suspect...
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory.
I see.
Вообще-то убить
In which
нет.
case, I will
Ну, в
recount
смысле,
the
водой
findings
стал.
about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage.
Разве нет?
On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large... During the banquet, all attending guests... When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to... Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarand in the ensuing... These are the known facts about the case.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques. In truth, after that, the true... Thank you. However...
Так. День убийства, банкет. Да-да-да, так и было. Во время все гости услышали выстрелы.
The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. However, in the end, he reconsidered and instead shared everything with Callus, hoping to seek the latter's protection. Unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit had already considered this possibility and had sent out another assassin.
Да, мы победили. Так, держал в руке пистолет, уже подозрен. Никто не мог скрыться с места преступления. Тогда нам нужно неопознанная одежда.
This assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him.
Не нашли никакого оружия. Он все время бил вторым. Найти... У него не было оружия.
A pile of clothing was found at the scene, but now it is clear that the clothes were proof that since it was raining that day,
Всё.
Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder.
Опровергнуто.
Ah, so that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used for all these years?
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives. I guess they didn't shoot each other after all.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal if you wish to prove your innocence.
Ah, but I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine two things. One, do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
I'm afraid not. At least not at this very moment.
Boo! If you don't have any evidence, you should just go home!
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing around the same time, we should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time, regardless of age or gender.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable investigative direction.
Why do I feel like Farina's acting a little differently today?
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself again?
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen in the last trial.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you described, then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been dissolved, he could have at least mounted a defense.
I thought about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt there were things that were more important to him. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances case.
What?
If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood to lose our lives. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right. But what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no reason to exist. But by staying silent, we retained the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more time to grow and learn. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot, and restore my father's truth and honor back to him.
So, you mean to say, your father intended to die in the duelist's ring?
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clarand. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, you should tell—
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callus was—
As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless number of in my line of work. I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are...
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between...
Right? What she said was fascinating.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill Bolzjak, and at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because the culprit could only time their actions so precisely if, coincidentally, Marcel attended both.
So that's why you suspected me. I'm used to it, though.
No need to appeal to Pather.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even on top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control...
Don't know what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects. Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder? But if I were to dismiss this completely, do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyway.
It's timing. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callus's patronage. But disappearances began before I ever stepped foot.
I do apologize, demoiselle. This was my mistake.
No, it's not your fault.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first? You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friend. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the
Seems like she got the... At this rate, Navia will be...
I think you've done but aren't you going... He wished for you to become more rational, once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things.
This isn't just about me. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial. Many people's images are flashing, and whose is it? A man named Vache?
Vache?
Oh.
No.
So you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've...
I was waiting for you.
Интересно, если бы я выбрала другого кого-нибудь. Нет, ничего интересного. Да нет. Вроде бы меню. Нет? Нет, тогда бы я могла. Серьезно? Место, где можно менять отряд. Меня вроде так все устраивает. Вот так вот. Ай, не то. Я хотела Дори. Видите. И вот так. Переключись, переключись. Ау, поздно. Вау.
Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
Сундук. Стой.
Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up.
Так, походу нужно будет под воду. И все? Еще.
The water level is rising. Now we can swim to the top. But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Да ёшкина мышь. Ленка. Она вчера увидела, что закрыто 25-го, ну, до 25-го. Подумала, что вчера было закрыто, а сегодня откроют. Оказалось, что имела в виду, что сегодня закрыто, вчера было открыто. Нафига? Ну как так? Завтра же не работает библиотека. Сейчас я быстренько проверю. Пока помню.
What they say is true. You have to see the world for yourself to appreciate how beautiful it is.
Не, опять. Как так можно вообще?
Everyone hold hands. Don't be scared.
Let me scry. Written in the stars.
Go get him, Uruguay. What's this? Grow.
Shadows of fate.
Oh.
Magic lamp.
Delved into destiny.
Скинулась. Сейчас. Идь.
Now the path is clear. Let's go.
Ну, прям тут плывем. Ну да. Ну да. Где ты хотел? Мы вроде это уже смотрели, не? Я не помню, чтобы такое мне попадалось. Они мне все на одно лицо. Это пол или... А, это пол. Я думала, это вода. Угу. О, напоминает Хогвартс. Вегасе. Ау.
Decided by destiny. Everyone hold hands.
Ау, это сильно. Вот так вот.
Shadows of fate.
Ау. Так.
I see everything. Shazam! Let's sweeten the deal. Yeah. Delve into destiny. Fate is upon you. Hey.
Ну, давай.
Let me scry. I see everything. Yeah.
Блин, ничего не дает. Ай. Вообще нахида.
Though, as expected, the mastermind isn't. That's right. What's all this? Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box.
Розовое украшение.
Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all...
Жертва.
You mean the girls from the... And then they were turned into all the boxes of things. These names. Let's see what's written here. Nothing escapes the... Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an investigation. Yep. It's about this should prove the existence of the third person, right?
Я потеряю точно содержание.
Not determined the exact content. The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he can act whenever he wants to make our lives. I concur. Let's send someone to kill him. Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. They're all...
Что это?
Oh, look! There's an important-looking basin over here, and it's full of water. That means this is where they make all the synth. And if you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth. Paimon will take notes on this. this over here? Looks like some kind of place for experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclude the experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea.
Пытался способ возрождения.
Sorry, traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just, how can someone write something that terrible and such a... You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going. So that's why he did all of these experiments.
Да, судя по всему.
But did he really think he'd be able to
Пытался спасти кого-то.
solving people over and over? That's just insane.
Ваш.
Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness
Это то,
in
с
the
кого
serial
все началось.
disappearances case. You mean Vache is
Она
doing
не
his job?
жертва. Она жертва обстоятельств.
Experiments? So that's it. Vache was no victim, but personally took his lover and... No, that's not it either. If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface from the water? In any case...
Она, скорее всего, случайно соприкоснулась, и он пытался ее спасти. Так, это мы... Ага, вижу.
Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the... Mixing in progress. Ready to drink? Stock sample? Huh. Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth?
Фруктовым вкусом?
Yep, it's... We've looked at almost everything here. Yeah. We haven't found anything that reveals... No wonder even Neuvillette wasn't able to find anything. That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true... Sure thing.
Хотя бы фоточку его любимой. А почему? Вообще-то вот это интересно выглядит.
You take that side and Paimon will take... Ugh. Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks either.
Что искал или что?
Whoa, really? Let Paimon see. Vinier. Isn't that Vache's lover's name? Then you've... Aw. It's just a
И, перевод.
many. A whole page's worth. The final name she did... Marcel. Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he's Vache and Vinier's grown son? Hey! Paimon still hasn't figured it out yet.
Ничего себе. Значит, вооруженный.
And whose image do you see? Is it a man? Oh, so you do.
I'm merely surprised.
I was.
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my partner. I just...
Just how often do you intend to flout?
It's all right, Monsieur Neuvillette. Given their confidence, I expect they've found the... But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vache.
Чё?
We've investigated your lair after your lover, Vinier, was dissolved. You kept abducting young women to experiment. You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your...
So that's it. Even the villains in opera
может, он
performances
сын?
rarely go that far. And with that, Marcel's
Просто
motive
это было
has now been
давно-давно.
established. This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior... Well, Marcel, do you... You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away. Instead of... So, you never noticed how we changed...
You also never understood Boss's real expectations.
For our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself.
Do you really pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, they said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vinier's death was brushed away by all of... Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, you only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of... Vinier is dead! We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, but I'm not from this blasted place!
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Can't
Он же
dissolve!
снежный.
Do you all see? I can't go, I can't follow. So if I did all of that, and in the end, I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guard!
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me! I still need Vinier. Please, Vinier. Don't think...
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear.
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that...
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might... The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vache and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vinier. During an underwater expedition, Vinier accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vache as a result. Vache learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Vinier back to life. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vache discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria, and began to manufacture and market synths. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expand, after exchanging blows with Spina de Rasula for many years, although the assassination did not go as Vache expected, he was able to turn... And just recently, Vache attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case thus concludes the enigmatic history of the The Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'un guilty.
Прикольно, если вдруг.
Take Vache away.
Если вдруг там написано что-нибудь другое.
Good. It's what he deserves.
With that, the serial
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the truth?
Yippee! We have now. He's hurt so many innocent. Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were absolute.
The day our late boss had always hoped.
Yeah. See, Papa?
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served.
Вообще-то, за что задержали, я так не поняла.
I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business.
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
Ugh, what now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before...
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to exit stage left?
Please respect the laws of Fontaine.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that the guilty party has been identified, and thus it is... We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale.
Давай. Ну что?
According to the judgment of the Oratrice guilty.
Виновна.
What?
Hey! That's not funny. What's with this verdict? Is your justice...
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the...
I mean,
Вот я говорю, ключица, что что-то не то выйдет.
Do you think the Oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale is by law. The guards, please take this...
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
Неплохо. Для него это слишком опасно.
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld. Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, all I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Так Архон там сама такая себе.
I had nothing to do with it. I don't know what happened there either. Hey, stop!
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either, but that's impossible.
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not?
My dearest citizens, did you really
Такое чувство, что она не та, за кого
verdict to be handed out in this court? Don't tell me. You
Да,
thought
изначально
even
выхода
I had
нет,
been
конечно.
blindsided by the Oratrice's result.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. And, of course, for every performance, there is a script. And if you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, everything he's done, not to mention the danger, all shall be revealed in time. Now, having said that,
Ну да, по идее, он виновен в других преступлениях.
it is now time for this performance.
So she chose to make her...
So you're saying we shouldn't put...
She probably just put on that performance to save face.
Ну, ну,
As for the
умный.
truth, it's unlikely that she actually... However, please be assured that I will continue to
Добрый
investigate
умный,
this case in
идеал
a personal
какой-то.
capacity.
Подозрительный.
Just as I promised.
All right. Even though we feel pretty badly for... After all, he's done plenty of bad stuff. So...
Ну, тюрьма. Увидим ее. Если у него будут хорошие боевые навыки, может, я его и возьму к себе. Что-то он хорош слишком. Как персонаж. И красив, и хорош, и умен, и добр.
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Marcel! What are you doing over here?
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another charge to the list.
Jeez. No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ну, что он еще и дракона видел.
I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vache?
Фонтана.
I erased all records of that name.
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? The Fountain of Lucine? Then she... Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last...
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile?
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he wants?
This request, is it worth as...
Of course! Wait.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy spiritual needs? Very well.
Он
I
реально
will grant
дракон.
your request.
Your Honor.
I will go with him. You...
In that case...
Thank you. Thank you. Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that...
Vache!
Ah!
Yes, that's it! So you heard it too!
Vinier, it's me! It's me, Vache!
Vache? Vache!
I'm here! I'm here! Where are you, Vinier? I'm coming.
Hey, wait! Be careful!
Vinier, is that you? It's me, Vache! Vinier!
Vache? Why did you come? Didn't I say? You don't need to look for me. You look a lot older than I remember. How long has it been?
It's been more than 20 years. I've suffered for over 20 years since the day. All this time, only the thought of bringing you back has kept me alive. I must be dreaming. Who would have... Vinier, you are my everything. I really don't know how I could...
But Vache, if you ask me, this world would be better off
Было
without...
бы лучше без тебя. Что?
If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a top-tier attorney one day. If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts. If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my mother. It's all because of your selfishness, Vache. It's all because of you.
Ой, боже.
You are not Vignier.
You're right. I am not Vignier. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the primordial sea. Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea, and we were no longer individuals. I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Azine. The only one I am not is Vignier.
Why? Where is Vignier?
She doesn't want to see you anymore. Every tendril of her consciousness is avoiding you. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time and time again that you'd do any and everything for her. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? If she would despise you for what you became?
Леонид.
You are a liar, a heartless murderer, and a cowardly narcissist. The only thing you are not is Vignier's beloved. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vignier's, she has had nothing but pure hatred for you.
Ну или чтоб он прекратил убивать.
Yeah. She can't hate me. Let me see her.
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, but on top of that, she also said that because it's her final. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you.
Vache.
Vache? 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 Drown.
Траун. Чего делал, можно знать, тонуть. Что, я не успела прочесть? Тина не успела прочесть.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been...
Well met, partner. I knew something.
Even this weather can't...
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey, Navia! It's been a...
Oh, now that I believe. It's just been one thing after the other. Everyone from Spina di Rosula organized a memorial for my father. This time, though.
So his name's...
It's been the dearest
Oh, by the way, I ran into Charlotte just after I left the memorial. Well, maybe it'd be more accurate to say I...
Что, Шарлот? А, точно.
Way back when I first became the president, I believe the story was called... To be fair, though, it was a really... She was trying to lean on our friendship to get me to do an exclusive piece on the serial disappearance case.
Oh, yeah. She told us about that.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical...
Now that's a...
Oh, and in...
Oh, are you two on better terms?
While you were investigating, it was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide.
Oh, that's great.
Anyway, now that the case... Oh, actually, there's still one...
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave and tell him the truth. And on top of that...
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
We want to go too.
Sure thing.
And in that case, everyone, let's be...
Yeah, you're right. This is where my father's grave is.
Huh? There's someone... Isn't that Nervalette? Why would the Chief Justice be be here. Huh? Navia?
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay my...
Don't say...
Sorry about that.
Oh, I wanted to show my father how much I've grown. But still, I doubt...
In that case, I will stop apologizing for...
You really could use some pointers on understanding human... In any case... Oh.
Ever since that day, I've been turning a question over and... There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to humans than life. Oh, rather than that, it's probably more truthful to say I didn't believe humans were capable of resisting the most basic instinct of living. Which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that fateful... I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. That there was nothing, but Mr.
Мне кажется, наоборот.
And decisively wrong.
Руки могут опуститься.
If not for his sacrifice, the serial disappearances
А
case
виновный, наоборот, все делают, чтобы выжить.
Mr. Callis made the choice he did for his daughter, and in the end, from a certain perspective, a justice that's higher than...
Саму жизнь.
So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callis in person. This regret has filled me with a sadness that has haunted. That high and mighty chair in the opera Epicles indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula.
Где его пасбурга?
I'm sorry for being
Хороший
mad at you
способ
before.
будет... А, она у нее то, что
So,
не
you're
светится.
actually one of those types that's...
Sorry about that. Self-expression is not...
Didn't I just...
Ah, so Navia. Let's not disturb them for now. We can wait till Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before.
Необычно. Неприятно летать вокруг меня. Я не знаю. Серьезно.
Nevertheless is still standing around there.
Ай. Он тоже предлагает завтра поехать в Веснару купаться. И шашлычить.
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite you to come pay your respects to her father?
We ran into Navia on the streets today, so we just followed her here.
I see, I see. Then is there something that I can help you with?
Well, it's pretty hard to run into you like this since you're usually super busy. So we figured we could try to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would be my pleasure.
Скажи о
Your
брате.
sibling, another blonde-haired traveler. If he ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure he followed our laws to the letter and had no reason to appear. Is there anything else you...
Давай, чё?
However, I still believe that...
But you also...
For many years, I have been quite aware that the Oratrice does not simply mechanically repeat as a divinely created mechanism. The people's unified faith in the concept not only can it produce the incredible power of indemnitium, but it likely also possesses other traits, such as... Which is all to say, I have been prepared for a situation like this.
So when Lenny told us that he heard a human voice from the room where the...
I was not aware such a thing had occurred. Perhaps that could serve to prove... In any case, I am inclined to believe that the Oratrice does have a methodology. Based on Farina's reaction, I doubt even she had any idea what was going on. She managed to bluff her way through it, though. While we do intend to get to the bottom of this, For now, we regret to say that if we did incorrectly convict him of crimes he did not commit, we will most certainly compensate him to the fullest.
If you ask Paimon, the only compensation he'll want is a no-hold.
Is there anything?
Ну, давай
That the sea
пророчество.
levels will rise and everyone... Does that appropriately summarize the version you've heard?
That's right. It was Linny that told us back then.
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached a point where we have no choice but to confront this prophecy direct. Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last words the former Hydro Archon
Кончины
left to the world before she
предыдущие
passed away.
гидравных. Вот.
Of the former Hydro Archon? What?
2 parts of the prophecy have already proven correct.
Уровень
The
поднялся.
rising sea levels, the
Стараются.
ability of the people of Fontaine. Speaking of the prophecy,
Всегда
Marina
знала
has also
пророчество.
always taken it quite seriously. Indeed, she has. If the rumors were true, then perhaps this prophecy is the conundrum left to Farina.
But with Farina being the way she
Is there anything else you'd like?
Ну и последнее, что мне такого.
referred to that special water as water from the primordial sea.
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. I can only surmise that Vache and his ilk only learned of its nature and existence after there used to be a special sea on the surface of this planet. The nature of its sea. Most of Tevat's life forms were first born in that special sea. You could say...
So it really was.
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists on the
На
planet's surface.
поверхности.
What Vache discovered must have been some kind of special case.
Остатки.
So that's how it is. Oh, you really know everything, most.
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to
Только
engender and
изменил.
nurture
Он
life,
стремится поглотить
suddenly
ее.
reverse it? To be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding of this. Is there anything else?
Да все уже. У меня вопрос.
Very well. It was my honor to provide you with what answers I could. I very much enjoyed conversing with you. It will soon be time for me to leave this blissful tranquility behind and return to Palais Memorial.
You really are super busy, Monsieur Neuvillette. Paimon thought you only came here to pay your respects today because you had...
Crime and villainy do not have the day off, and so...
All right. You've got a point. Huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped.
О, наконец-то выполнено. Что? Там что-то пропустила. Эй. 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 Ей. Активировать. Тоже какая-то уборка из окна.
For it cannot be changed. Nor can it be reversed. It can... Only but...
Что это такое? Ну что ты там хочешь мне? Ну это... А я все еще не могу? Так, что я могу? А что я могу? А, вспомнил, что я хотела. Вот. Задание. Отслеживать. Ну и заодно зайдем к Катерине. Давайте-ка. В смысле? Что это сейчас было? Ну, что ты хочешь? Наконец. Ясно, мне нужно было сюда зайти, а я думаю, что не так. А ты еще кто? О, висит. Ты должен здесь. Сиди. Фейнен. Лен, значит, сдала книжки? Ну, а кто у тебя их принял? Да.
Потом, когда начала уходить, потом женщина открыла, спросила, ты хотела сдать книжки?
Угу.
Ну, типа, я ей дала, она под штрих-коду. Под штрих-коду.
Ну да, там по штрих-коду можно пробить.
Типа там, когда закрыто, нельзя книги брать, и когда открыто,
В смысле, сдавать книги, если закрыто, можно. Ты это имеешь в виду, да? Ну и отлично, что приняли. Там просто есть еще шкаф прямо у входа, куда можно сдавать книги. Я просто не знаю, как там он работает, я не читала, там можно прочесть. То есть книги можно прям туда сдавать. Ну там этот, типа как посылки, когда принимаем, точно такой же есть там, так он принимает книги. То есть если закрыта библиотека, можно туда сдавать. Но я не стала тебе это нагружать, потому что я сама не знаю, как это работает. То есть, по идее, можно было просто туда сдать, в этот есть шкафчик. Ну, 2. Да, 2К это 2.
Я думала, он поедет куда-то. Поехали к больнице.
Тут в сторону другой
Рядом с фабрикой.
А, рядом с вами больница? Ты имеешь в виду школа? Первый? А, ну поликлиника, а не больница.
Там остановилась, пошла прям до дома.
А почему ты не вышла нормально у дома?
Я думала,
Так мы вчера на этом же автобусе ехали. Ты можешь немножко довериться и доехать до конца? Мы вчера мимо поликлиники ездили. Ну.
Хотелось пешком.
Ну тогда ладно. То есть ты всего одну остановку проехал почти. Ну, это твое решение. Господи, заканчивайте болтать. Я даже с Ленкой успела поболтать. Угу. Ну, этого мы видели. А. Чуточку промахнулась. Опять что-то распалилось. Алхимическая игрушка. Тоже брать. А, господи, хватит болтать. Ну, разногласия у братьев и... Так, ну что ж, что у нас тут? Завершено. Значит, в другой раз завершим. Задание. 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 Еще раз задание. Магазин. Ну да. Угу. Он мне, блин, не нужен.
Astrologers must rid themselves of material desires. Only by ridding oneself of... Can one see the true world?
Так, этого нет. Когда уже следующее? Стоп, оно было? А, ну да, вообще сначала. Месяца ждать. Что ли? Да. Лен, у нас завтра будет уборочка. И у Веснару. После уборочки. Поедешь с нами? На шашлык. Да. Ну, вот чисто пошашлычить. Может, не ехать тогда. Если Юры не будет, ты остаешься у бабушки, да? Ну, тебе же проще. Тебе не надо будет тогда с детьми опять нянчиться.
Еще уборку мне.
Уборку все равно надо бы сделать.
Я ж завтра...
Если ты будешь завтра у бабушки, ты уберешь у себя вот это вот то, что ты у себя разложила, и подметешь, да? Ты можешь уже подмести, чтобы это было немножко полегче завтра. А еще порядок на столе сделай, а то у тебя вечно там... О. А. А, это можно или нет? Миндаль? Ну да, миндаль. Интересно, интересно. Голые бобы. Ресторана Сумера. Серьезно. Это только фонтейн. То есть это единственное новое. А, ну да, это даже в наличии. Такая, что-то новое, у меня там целая куча в наличии. Что ты от меня хочешь? Что-то ты мне тыкаешь? Все, довольна? Это еще что? Найди, собери подсказки. Ой, я бы это взяла. Это вот. Я начала, но... Была занята. Не, оставила на потом. Блин, а как там лечиться под водой? С рыбками какими-то вроде. Мне нужно подлечиться. Да. Все берем. Вот эти вроде. Все отлично. Стой. Ать. Ты на меня? Тут у меня быков. Так, что тут еще? Есть еще что разорвать? Угу. Зачем? Потому что могу. А. Зачем прицеливаться? И так все хорошо работает. О, знакомые очертания. Что он тут делает? Никого это не смущает? Ну ладно. Там был этот. Я не смотрю на карту. Как я так опошала. Где? Может быть. Вот тут может быть. И тут может быть. Где-то есть. Да хватит. Ой. Где же она может быть? Я просто не хочу потом сюда возвращаться. Молодец. А я точно никак не могу с этим поделать. Что они?
Типа это заканчивается скорость, ты не умираешь?
Угу.
Играть.
Это не то. Да, я пойду подлечусь, что ли. Немного. 5 штук. Нет, 4 штуки. Осталось. Так, а давайте я сделаю... Просто посмотрю на карте. Вот это вот мне нужно. Так, убейте врага, удерживай врага, удерживай Е. Я так и делаю. Все-таки я была права. Мне почему-то не дала. Ау. Да отстаньте от меня. Ты ёшкина мышь, а почему? Чё? Отметила. Все. Дальше сами. Ну да, вряд ли здесь что-то кроме книжек. В нормальном состоянии. Книги. Да. Ой, ты, господи. Тёсенька, на подушечке. Ой, она не хочет. Ты даже не представляешь, Дуся, что ты теряешь. Ну, то, что Дуся не хочет быть на мягкой подушечке, то, что они устраивают из того, что домиков, которые я делаю. Они просто не понимают, каково это на мягком сидеть. Да?
Ты летишь
На мягкой подушечке. Большой и мягкой.
подушки, которые ставятся.
Вот и я говорю, что они даже не понимают всего. То, что пропускают.
Страшно они не
Что она мне там делает? Что она у меня делает?
кто? Люся?
Да. А ты посмотри с другой стороны.
Сидит Люся.
Просто сидит. Ну и ладно. Она еще немножко трясется. Чего? Она так просто. Угу. Вариант.
Ой, ты жалко. Уже не приходит. Уже не страшно.
А, кстати, отметить.
Она может по руке к столу.
Да, вот так устроилась.
Сама.
Ну, больше, наверное, не трогай, пускай она сидит тогда. Вдруг она спать хочет. Поспит у меня. Ой, зачем я это сделала? Пересела. Что? Куда? Зачем?
I'll take it all.
Конечно, не то, что я ожидала. Но я не там, где должна была бы быть. Я смогу выбраться. Странно. здесь что-то есть, но тоже ремней нету. Ну, ладно. Возможно, позже откроется.
Задание.
Возможно, там тайный ход, которым нужно найти. Подход. Да, надеюсь, Люси не сбежит на стол, пока я тут мышкой. Ну я ж, она на стол как перебегает. Рука на мышке, она в руке на стол. Моя девочка на тебя реагирует, Лен. Почему ты перед камерой стоишь? Нет.
This should cover food and rent for a while.
О, нет. Куда? Ага.
Hey! You're more as fuck! Don't be scared! I see everything!
Delve into destiny. We could do with some more fortune.
Ну, давай. И... Да ёшкин наш. Да что такое-то? Что ты хотел? Что он мне хотел? А-а-а. Это ж не от меня зависит. Давилась собственной слюной. Так где-то здесь должен быть этот. Где? А вот это не здесь. Ну, ладно. Когда я тут ни при чем.
Pack everything up nice and carefully. Don't drop
Подозреваю,
anything.
что здесь. Вот она.
You, Gwen, you're up. Shazam!
Let me scry.
Yeah. Go get him, you.
Вали чесик.
Stay put.
Decided by destiny.
What's this?
Так, а можно сундук, пожалуйста? А ёшки. Что? Нет. Ну, а что поделать? Чего, раковина? Зачем? Не буду. Все, отлично. Точечка. Это можно кинуть игру. Что? Я с Геншином покончила, но я думаю сделать перерывчик, перекусить, тогда я бы еще No Man's Sky сыграл. Так что я сейчас закончу трансляцию, но потом включусь еще раз.